everyone, Ryan Young, KAATARO Jiu-Jitsu. I hope you're doing well. You know, something that I've been asked by pretty much everyone, students of mine or people on the YouTube channel or people that I meet in a seminar, how do I know when I'm getting better? Because you're training against the same people in class, because you tend to go to your classes at a time that works for you, and chances are if it works for you, it works for other people as well. So even in a school that might have 200 students in it, you're pretty much seeing all the time maybe a fourth of them. And the remaining 3/4 of the students go at different class times, and they exist. You might have seen them once in a while, but you don't really bump into them on a regular basis. So against the students that you're going to and seeing all the time and sparring with them, you don't feel like you're getting better because you're always doing the same against these same people, right? This person is always catching you, you're always catching this person, and you're always stalemating this third person. So how do you know you're getting better? Because you've been going to class, here we are a year later, and you're still in that same situation with those 3 people, as an example. Here's the thing. If you keep track of your training, so when I used to go to the gym, I used to have a notebook, and I could tell you what my workout was. You choose a day, and if I was at the gym that day, I would tell you what my workout was on that day. I told you how many reps, what weight, what type of exercise I did on what machine. I could tell you all those details because I kept track of it. Now, if you are one to keep track of your training, some people write a journal, and for me, I never did. Journals never worked for me. But for me, I can mentally look at what all the positions are, and I can know where I am. And basically what it is, I'm just going through it over and over and over. And each time I pass through, it gets a little better, right? For those of you who have tattoos, right, and you have color tattoos, today's tattoos and on the color ones, they're very vivid and saturated. Well, I remember when I was getting my first color tattoo, my only color tattoo actually, he was putting the first color in, and the first pass of the red or something, and it felt like any other tattoo. But what happened was he went back over it. Once he put it in that first time, he went back over it a second and the third time. I'm like, what are you doing, right? He goes, well, every time I pass over it, it gets deeper. I pass over it, it gets deeper. So he's saturating the colors. So the same thing with your techniques. You go through it one time and you have a light level of competency. Then you go through it again, you have a deeper level of competency. You go over it again and you have a much deeper level of competency. What happens is you go over and over and over, then you get better and better and better at the same thing. It just gets more vivid, right? Now, what if other people in your class are doing the same thing? Right? They're all going through the same thing you're going to because they're in the same classes and your instructor's teaching them the same way they're teaching you. So if you're all getting deeper, a deeper and deeper knowledge of a certain concept, how do you know if you're getting better? Well, you kind of don't, but if versus them, using them as your comparison. Or your instructor may be telling you, hey, Ryan, you're doing a really good job. I noticed that you're doing this and this better. Then you're like, oh, okay, that's your positive affirmation. So one way you can figure if you're getting better or not is go train with different people. Maybe go to a different class. So normally you don't go to Saturday, go to the Saturday class this time. There'll be different people in there, hopefully, and you'll be training with people who you haven't trained with in a while. And they will notice if you're getting better. Or you will notice based on that person. This person used to trash me, but now I can hang with them, or now I can beat them. So you got better. The easiest way to tell if you're progressing in the art is to train with new people just right off the street who come in for the very first time. Because at one time, that was you. And you were at that level of non-knowledge that they are currently. But here you are, you're now further along. So you train with someone brand new, you'll see how little they know, and you'll see how easy it is that you can deal with them and how you can keep them in place. You've progressed, right? Or let's say you're a purple belt now. Train with a blue belt who you haven't trained with in a while, who is much better than somebody just coming off the street. So now you're training with this blue belt, and here you are, you're able to handle this blue belt pretty well and pretty easily. There's more affirmation, more validation that you've gotten better, you've improved, because now this blue belt, who can pretty much handle any person off of the street, you're handling him. So that's how you can kind of tell whether you're getting better or not. Now, we are going to occasionally go into a plateau. Sometimes we'll go into a rut. I've seen people go into a rut, get the purple belt, and all of a sudden, boom, it's like they're no longer training at a purple belt level. don't know what happens. That does happen, in which case you're really getting hammered on by everybody because you're just not right. Your mind is not right, your body's not right, something is not right. Sometimes you're just overtraining, you need to let your body rest. And that recovery, take a week or two off, go on a vacation or something. Sometimes that recovery will make your body just feel stronger and better, and you'll get back onto the mat and you think to yourself, I missed an entire 2 weeks, but you'll actually take a step up because you gave your body rest. But as far as trying to figure out, whether you're improving or not, as long as you're learning and you're practicing and you're working and getting better, then yes, you are getting better. If you just come in and you roll, do the quick lesson, but don't work on it, don't try to get better at what the lesson is, and you just go and, you're there to spar, basically, you're just rolling. Chances are you're not gonna get better. Or if you do, it's at a slower rate than if you focused on actually learning and getting a command of the topic at hand. But just rolling, like I said in other videos, rolling doesn't make you better. I've known guys been rolling for 10 years and they're still no good. It's because they just don't have a system of learning. They get a bare minimum level of competency, they start rolling, and it's just fun rolling. They just like that challenge of rolling. But what happens is those individuals will notice if you have people who are disciplined in their learning, they're starting to get to the point where they're beating them, and they'll see that they're getting bypassed by people. People come in brand new and then bypass them. People come in new, bypass them. And they notice that here they are at blue belt and they have people that started after them that are now black belt, right? They haven't progressed because they haven't taken a hands-on approach to their learning. Excluding the person who just has a low Jiu-Jitsu IQ, who just can't seem to pick things up very quickly, which that's another thing. It is a real thing, by the way, Jiu-Jitsu IQ. But we all learn at different rates. So as long as you can see in your mind whether you're improving on an objective scale, meaning note the curriculum and note, you can actually put levels of competence in a particular concept. So headlock escapes, right? You can first check it, meaning you learned it. And then you can put another check, meaning you learned it to a certain, you have to kind of make up your own competency level. What do you need to do to be able to know that you're at a better level at it? Maybe it could be you can now get out of it when somebody's trying to punch your face. Not that hard, but just trying to touch your face. And then you check that box up, that's your next box. So you got 2 checks on it. And you go in again, this time you tell the guy, what, I want you to punch my face. And you're able to deal with that and get out of it, right? So you do a 3rd check on it. So now if you can take everything in the curriculum and put those series of checks on it, then you know that you're saturating yourself in that concept. And then you'll know, even though you don't have validation through your training partners, because you're not beating anybody new or nobody new is beating you, but you still are getting better because you're going through that checklist. So that's what I would kind of recommend to you if you're trying to figure out if you're getting better or not, without seeking the affirmation of your instructor. Am I getting better? Am I getting better? After a while, you're going to annoy your instructor by that. Am I getting better? Of course he's going to tell you, yeah, you're getting better, because he's not going to tell you, no, you're not getting better. Or at least I wouldn't. Well, no, I would. Yeah, I'm kind of mean like that. I take it personally in my end, right? If I feel that someone is not getting better, then it's my fault because I'm not able to convey my thoughts to this particular individual to get them better. Or, I'm not finding the alternative way of doing something that will help them to improve. Or maybe I'm not being creative enough in my approach to teaching to hit this person in the head, to not literally, but to hit them so that they can do the technique in a way that they'll get it. There's no real, well, I guess there are bad students, but I think more often than not there's bad instructors and bad instruction, which is why we put so much of an emphasis on a training program for instructors. I think it's really the responsibility of the instructor to teach that person. Now, if you've exhausted all your methods and all your tricks to get a thought into that person's head, then you need to talk to another instructor and ask, hey, you know what, bounce some ideas off of me. I'm having a hard time getting this idea across to this particular instructor. And that's what our instructor training sessions are for. Instructors will kind of ask, and I'll usually give them how I do it, and they'll go and try it, and more often than not, it works. In this case, it's, if that student is not learning how to do the mount escape correctly, then it's because the instructor just needed to figure out how to get it to that particular student. Be disciplined and you will know when you're getting better. And that's about as simple as I can make it. If you have any questions, just feel free to comment in the video, and be sure to like and subscribe if you liked it, and hit the bell so you can get notifications when we have new videos coming out. And if you can, help the channel out, grab a Kama Jiu-Jitsu t-shirt or a KAATARO belt, or sign up for our Patreon channel. You won't regret it. Anyway, take care. Happy training now. Bye-bye.